Hey guys, Haley here, flying and bright and crashing into your backyard. And today I'm doing literally the most typical video idea ever because I looked online and I just looked up some videos for fun and I saw, hey, some people are doing like videos where they guess American slang versus Canadian or British slang. And I thought, that could get me a lot of views. So here I am, basically selling myself out for a topic that mildly interests me. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at a list of Canadian slang words that I have here that I kind of made myself that was kind of hard to do. And I'm going to be trying to figure out what the American equivalent to it is. And hopefully you guys like this video, and if you do, please subscribe. There's a lot of other videos on my channel, and I can definitely do another one of these videos in the future if you want. Maybe I can do like a British slang video, because that would be really cool. All right, let's get right into it. Okay, first up is the word toque. A toque in Canada is like this hat that you put on. Sometimes it's got a little bit of like a brim. I don't know. We mostly wear it for sledding and going wintery stuff. So what is the American equivalent to that? I'm pretty sure the American equivalent to toque is a beanie. Let's see if I'm right. Bing, bing, correct. I was right. It is a beanie. Yes. Next up is the word pop. I don't even need to look that up to know the answer is obviously soda. And once again, I am correct. I really feel like I need some like bing bing and kind of sound effects for this video. Or maybe some background music, but I have no editing software, so I'm gonna make them with my mouth. Okay, next up is pencil crayons. What do you call pencil crayons? Pencil crayons in Canada are like those long pencil-shaped things that you use to color in pictures because crayons are for children. And what would you even call that in America? I think like maybe they're like coloring pencils or colored pencils or something about color and pencils. I'm pretty sure that we call them because color pencil crayons. It makes sense. They're shaped like pencils and they do the exact same thing as crayons. What else do you want? So I think that in the US they call them colored pencils. Okay, I got it. It was right. Almost. The American is colored pencils and the British is coloring pencils. Okay, that could have been like a close call for that. So let's move on to the next one. Chesterfield. Okay, who the hell uses the word Chesterfield anymore? Apparently it's supposed to be Canadian slang. I don't know. My Grammy uses it all the time when she's describing what we call a couch. So I'm guessing in America they either call it a couch or like a sofa, maybe. Bing bing! Once again, I am correct. It was couch or sofa. Sofa sounds like it would be American because you've got soda and then you have sofa and it just sounds like it makes sense. I think Chesterfield is like a British thing, but then again, Canada's kind of British-ish. So, yeah. A toboggan. Okay, so toboggans are kind of like, in the winter when you go up to the hill and you stand at the top of the snowy hill and you get on this thing and you slide down. Yeah, for us, that's a toboggan. And I'm pretty sure in America they call that a sled, or maybe they call it a sleigh. It's probably a sled. We also have these things called crazy carpets that are like these plastic things there. It's basically a sheet of plastic with two little holes at the top that you can grab your hands into. And it's like a sled, except you go on your knees and you slide down face first, and it's probably extremely dangerous, but we've never actually considered that. So anyway, sled. Yes, it is a sled, but apparently Americans also use the word toboggan as the name for a beanie. or for a toque. So you call a toque a toboggan, and we call your sled a toboggan. That's extremely confusing. A double double. Okay, I don't think this has an American equivalent. I'm pretty sure Americans just would say a coffee with 2 sugars and 2 creams in it. I don't know. My parents sometimes order it. I don't drink coffee, so I may be wrong. Yep, it ain't got no equivalent in American, so I guess I was correct. Does that count as a point, or does that count as a you put the wrong thing on the list? Looney and Tooney. Okay, this list was stupid. I made it when I was like half asleep because Looney and Toonies are only Canadian things and they don't exist in America. I think America has like bills. They have $1 bills, but they don't have coins. And I can't tell if that's a good idea or not. So a loonie is like a kind of like a gold colored $1 coin. And then a toonie is a $2 coin that's got like 2 rings. The inside circle is gold and the outside circle is silver, and it's got a polar bear on it. The loonie has a loon on it, so that's where it got its name. Flip-flops. I'm pretty sure Americans just say flip-flops, but let's be sure. Yep, they just call them flip-flops because people think that Canadians call them thongs? What? I don't know. I see lots of lists of Canadian slang saying, oh, Canadians say this, Canadians say that, Canadians say Mickey, they say, oh, what are you at? They say giver and what stuff. No one, at least where I live, says that. I've grown up on American television. It's the only thing that comes into this country. So obviously, stuff that is in Canada is called what Americans call it. We don't call anything that. We don't say a. We don't say giver. At least I don't think so. I don't know. I'm from Ontario, and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick are really different from us, so they might do it, but I don't actually know. Clicks. Okay, clicks is just like a short form for kilometers, which Americans use miles. I don't even need to look that up because it's kind of dumb. The humidex. Okay, I see this all the time on the Weather Network. The humidex, I think, is like a combination of the words humidity and index. It's like the index that tells us how humid it's going to be. And does that exist in America? What would it be like? Humidity chart, humidity, like perspiration graph, something with 2 different words, longer to say, something American-ish. I don't know. I don't know. I've tried looking it up, but I think Americans just call it the heat index, which doesn't really make sense because the whole point is humidity is like moisture when it's hot, and heat is nothing to do with moisture. But I'm not going to judge your weather system. People say that the humidex is flawed enough as it is. So I guess there's no point there. I don't get a point, do I? A chocolate bar. What would you call a chocolate bar? It's a bar of chocolate. What else would you call it? Like a candy bar? I mean, it does have a lot of stuff like caramel and crunchy stuff in it. So maybe, I don't know. Okay, I barely made it. Yes, it is a candy bar, and that was a shot in the dark. So I am very on a roll and lucky today. Eaves troughs. Eaves troughs are like the little kind of hanging thingies on the edge of the roof that the water collects in when it runs off the roof when it rains. I don't know, like gutters or something. Gutters aren't gutters those things on the sides of the streets that do the exact same thing as eaves troughs? But I don't know. Maybe that's what Americans call them. Thank freaking God. Bing, bing, bing. I got it again. I am like on a roll today. And I get the feeling that I've just made a really boring video because I'm making too easy of a list. Washrooms. I think I've heard this before, and I think they call them bathrooms, which doesn't really make sense because you don't always have a bath in them. Washrooms, you can always wash your hands in them, but I don't know, I'm gonna look it up anyway. It might be like restrooms or something. And once again, I have gotten lucky. Yes! Bing, bing, bing! A knapsack. A knapsack is obviously a backpack. It's basically just, why do we call it a knapsack? I'm gonna reverse the logic on the last word, saying that America got it right this time. It makes more sense. It's a pack and it's on your back. We call it a knapsack. Don't know why, because there's nothing nappy, or I guess it's a sack. Uh-huh. I am awesome. Yes, I am. No, America's awesome for having supreme logic in everything, except for using a clearly inferior measurement system. Most of my viewers are American, and they're gonna get so triggered by all of this. A stag and doe. So stag and doe is kind of like a party. Well, it depends. I don't know. A stag and doe is like a stag party, a bachelor party, and then there's like what the women do. A stag and doe is kind of like the pre-wedding parties by the girls and the guys, and the guys go to a stag, and the girls go to a bridal shower. I don't actually know. So I'm going to assume Americans say like a bachelor party, and then they also, for girls, they're going to say what, like a doe, like a bachelorette party? That seems about right. Okay, I think it's a bachelor party. It's a bachelor party. That works. And for the second one, nope. They just call them bride showers. Now I feel dumb for thinking there was a difference. KD or craft dinner. Ultimately one of my favorite lunch thingies to go to whenever I have like no time to do anything. KD and craft dinner are probably going to be like something dumb. I feel like I think I've seen it before. I've seen a packet before, and I think the Americans call it Kraft mac and cheese, which is way longer to say and just seems kind of redundant because in our country, the word Kraft has become synonymous with mac and cheese, so we don't need to say mac and cheese. So maybe America should do a little bit more word association. And I was right. Bing, bing, bing. Guys, seriously, you need to make words easier to say. Kraft mac and cheese, KD. Kraft mac and cheese, KD. Which one is easier to say? A Timbit. Okay, these are probably going to be something like, I don't know, donut holes or whatever. I don't think they have them in America. It's basically like, I don't know if they actually make them from what comes out of the center of a donut, but basically it's kind of like a donut, but it's like this big and it's a ball. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like a donut hole. And I think that donut hole is what Americans will call it. Yep. Donut holes. Bing, bing, bing. To be honest, I think that Timbits just came from the name of Tim Hortons because that's basically the only restaurant that sells them. So that makes sense. All right, here comes the tongue twister of candies, Rockets and Smarties. So Rockets in our country is like this tube, this stack of plastic, this stack of candy disc type things that are in a plastic wrap, and then the ends are twisted like a piece of typical 1980s candy. And we call them Rockets because I don't actually know, because the pack looks like a rocket, like boom, candy. I think in America they either don't have them or they're called Smarties. And then for Smarties, for us, they're these little tiny things that are kind of like this, but rounded a little bit more. And they're like, they have an outer shell of candy coated stuff. And then on the inside, it's all chocolate. It's kind of like M&Ms, basically, but smaller, depending on what kind of size you get. I think Americans call those rockets. Okay, I was right for the first one. The first one, rockets for us, is called Smarties in America. Nope. They're just called. Well, actually, they don't sell in America because they already have candy called Smarties. But they're like the best thing. They come in these little blue boxes, and you can open one side and you can just have a bunch of them, and you can like take them out and eat them, and they're delicious, and I love them. And why don't you have so much good candy, America? You got to get more. You need like Kinder eggs, and you need stuff. Why are Kinder eggs banned? Is it because you eat the whole thing? But then wouldn't it be illegal to make things like I don't know. Screw it. Forget about it. We're moving on. Freezies. All right, freezies are the most amazing thing in summer. They're like these tubes, literally a plastic tube filled with this syrupy candy, like this syrup type stuff, and you stick it in the freezer and it freezes, and when you take it out, you have a little like popsicle. You cut off the top of the tube and you just squeeze it out, and that is a freezie. That is the most amazing thing about summer. And I don't think America actually has it, unless they do, and I'm just a total ignorant twit. Nope, they're just freezies, but I'm pretty sure the packages have like bubble letters or stuff or something that's really brightly colored and kind of fakey looking. No offense, that's just kind of what all American stuff looks like compared to Canadian stuff. I just said no offense, and then I said something offensive. What Americans call subs. Subs are like sandwiches. They're like, so it's like like if you took a baguette from France and you cut it in half, and then inside you put like meat and cheese and sauce and all that stuff, and you squished it back together, and you had like this sandwich, this long sandwich. And I'm assuming Americans either call it a long sandwich, or like, I think it was like a hoagie or something, which sounds kind of unappetizing. Who would want to eat something called a hoagie? All right, according to Wiki, they are really complicated. I don't know, they might call them subs, but they could also call them hoagies, heroes, filled rolls, grinders, wedge, spooky, and po' boy. I don't know, I've watched a lot of people guess American slang videos, and I know that the word po' boy comes up a lot, so maybe that would make sense. Maybe a lot of Americans just call them po' boys. I don't know, that sounds kind of dumb to me, but that's just my opinion. An elastic. All right, I'm pretty sure Americans just call this a rubber band. Basically, translation from Canadian slang to American slang. Take anything and just make it longer and harder to say, and it's automatically American. Let's see. Yep. Rubber bands. Hydro. Hydro is basically like the bill we get for power in our house, electricity. And I'm pretty sure Americans would just call it electricity because it's longer and harder to say. And I was right. It's an electricity bill. Next is a tap. What would you call other than tap? A tap is basically like what you have in the sink. You have the two knobs next to it. It pours out the water. That's what a tap is. That's what we call a tap. I'd probably call it like a sink. A sink, a water dispenser, or maybe they just call it tap and I'm stupid. I am extra stupid because it's not a tap, it's not a sink, and it's not a water dispenser. It's a faucet. What the freaking hell? Like I said before, tap to faucet. Longer and harder to say. What the freaking hell? University. All right, I think my dad explained this to me a while ago, that it was like, in America, in Canada, you have college and university. I don't know the difference. Basically, people think that university is better because you have to take it to be a doctor and a teacher and a nurse and a scientist or whatever. And I'm pretty sure in America they have college and community college. Community college is like our college, and regular college is like our university. Yep. At least for some parts of the country, they do use the community college thing. Why? Like I said before, college, community college. It's just longer and harder to say. Supply teacher. We usually call them subs here in Canada, just like the sandwich. My teacher is a sandwich. Yes, she is. I'm pretty sure they just call it something like, I don't know, like a sub or like a substitute or something like that. Yes, I was sort of right. It is a substitute teacher. Okay, so I'm not dumb. And finally, public school. I've had this big conflict in my mind because I've heard of something called elementary school, and I'm not sure if that's just what me and my friends actually call grade school, because you have grades 1 through 6, and then you have middle school, and then you have high school. So we usually call it grade school, middle school, high school, but it may be called, wait a minute, public school might not be the description of grades 1 through 6 at all. That might just be the difference between public school and private school. I don't know. But basically, I'd assume America would call bottom little kid school elementary school. I don't know. They call it a state school? I guess some parts of America do that. Don't get mad at me if I get these wrong. This is just what Google tells me. Blame Google. Blame Google. I'm blameless. I'm awesome. Subscribe to me. All right, guys. That's all I really have, and I don't know what my points were. Let me just count them up. You know what? I'm too lazy to count them up, so you guys can count them up for me, because that means you gotta watch the video all over again. No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna subscribe to me, and no one is going to actually watch this video. I made a video about Newspeak. Nobody watched that. Nobody cares about my channel. I'm such a loser. I'm wasting my time. Hey guys, how about Dungeons and Dragons? Do you guys like that? Because I could definitely make some videos about that. I mean, tell me what you guys want to see videos about, and I will definitely make them, because I don't know, it's been 2 years and I've got 130 subscribers, and that's kind of pathetic. And I don't want to be super ultra famous, but it would be kind of nice to have at least 1,000. So guys, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. I think I am going to do a video soon about Dungeons and Dragons, because it's the most awesome thing ever. If I could animate, I would animate my Dungeons and Dragons story, but I can't, so you're probably not going to watch it anyway. But it's a really fun, and it's really cool. It's really just awesome. We have the most great team. I play like an Azamar bard, and she's like all motherly, overbearing, nurturing. She's gullible and naive, and she's the best thing ever. So if you guys want to see videos about that, I would love to see your support on my channel by subscribing, clicking the notification bell, and doing all that, etc., etc. Plus, soon enough, I'm going to be doing our video on recognizing subscribers, guys. That's going to be fun. You guys are going to feel accepted and valued and stuff, but you already are accepted and valued. Thank you, Starlings. Thank you so much. So until next time, guys, this is Haley flying out.